Java sliders is a part of Java Swing package, um, and JSlider is an implementation of the slider. The component allows the user to select a value by sliding the knob. Let me show it to you. By sliding the knob within the bounded value as you see here. And the slider can show major tick marks like you see 0, 10, 0, 10 here, and also the minor tick marks between two major tick marks. We can also have minor tick marks in between 0 and 10. And then the knob can be positioned at only those points accordingly. So here in this application, what are we trying to do? We have created two sliders for entering the feet and entering the inches. So by inputting the feet and inches, when we click on convert button, it's showing the corresponding centimeter value out of those feet and inches that we have set up to. So for this application, all these labels or text fields, buttons, everything created, you do can view this example inside the JBooks also. I'm not getting into the details of all those components that we have added into the frame. Let's start with our major points here. In the default constructor, for setting up the minimum maximum value in feet and minimum maximum value in inches, we have all these variables: feet mean, feet max, feet init, inches mean, inches max, and inches initial, and grid back constants for the layout of all those components. Okay, let's move on to the slider, how to set up the slider. Let's see how to set up the height feet slider. This is for, I'm explaining about this slider only. The syntax is that the slider should be equal to new JSlider, belongs to the JSlider class. For this, we need to import the JSlider. It's here, the JSlider class. So the new import statements that you see, it's action event, change event, change listener, and JSlider. So all these new import statements are needed for JSlider class. Okay, that when the new slider is to be created, it needs the minimum, maximum, and initial value. So those values are already being assigned here, and it takes those values accordingly. Now feet slider, see, when we click on this knob, it's supposed to be set on certain point. So to do that, we need to implement the add actioner list this event. So it will go to the height converters or the height feet slider state change method. But before going to there, we need to work on this spacing where the knob should lie. So set major tick spacing is 10, so the maximum 10. You can see the minor tick spacing is 0, which is visible here. Okay, and then the paint levels are true so that you can view the slider. Then height feet, this text field is created, height feet field. This text field where you view 4 right now. To set up that one, the number of columns for the data that you need, that is 10. Editable is false, you cannot edit it. And set text. So initially when we ran the application, you can view it as 5, so set text is 5. Now in the same way, we are creating the inches slider, height in slider, same way, max, mean, and initial value. Then it also need the major tick spacing, minor tick spacing, and the layout constraints for the layout of the frame, all the components. So the event that has enabled for the feet, for feet and the inches as well, it should invoke the state change method. And this state change method, what it will do, We have two arguments, slider value, one integer type and one string, str slider val, one integer, one string type. So it need to input the event fast. So to input the event, we need one variable source event. So it will get the source of the event, and the source can be either feed slider or in slider. For those two sliders, we need one if else statement. So it will take the source of the event, which slider are we working on currently. And if the source event is the feed slider, it will get the value of the slider, and the value that we add here, that is entered as the string value. It is entered as the string value, and it is to be converted into the integer type through this statement. And then it will set the text of the height fit field the way it has been displayed here. In the same way, if we are working on the inches slider, then it should get the value, converted it into the string to integer, and then set the text here. That's about the sliders. And then it now the convert button, it should convert the entered slider feet values, inches values into corresponding centimeters. So we just have to add the logic. So ft value is the feet height feet sliders get value method. It will enter what is the feet value and what is the inch value through in value, and it will convert the cm value. So cm value is calculated through this method height ft into cm. So we have the method here. Through this method, we are converting the feet inches to the centimeter height. It's returning that to the cm value, cm val, and cm field is set text. That cm val is updated to a double value that you can see here. That's all about sliders of Java.